So great. So spy life looked intriguing to you guys.
Yeah, we were like, I want it to be clean. I want to be a spy kid. And Uncle Steve got me like a Spy Kid set for.
Yeah, we love
Christmas one
gadgets
year.
too. Like the gadgets
Oh my
are
God.
sick.
It was the sickest thing ever.
You guys just missed out on the McDonald's toys.
I did because we didn't have McDonald's.
You guys didn't have McDonald's.
Yeah.
All I remember like being a kid was like I felt cool because I grew up going to McDonald's all the time.
Really?
That when I was in the drive-through and like in the toy box was my toy, I was like, "Whoa, this is pretty cool."
So you went.
That would be
Did you
insane.
go knowing it was there?
Should we get into some backstory?
Or
I just have
question?
no, because I have like
The
a long
fuck?
I have a long answer.
Well, shall we start from the top?
I have a long answer and I have
Speaking of McDonald's toys,
yeah.
I was a young boy.
Yeah, once
What?
upon a
Okay,
time.
where would you like to start?
Well, no, if we're talking about child acting, then before Spy Kids, I was up for like 3 McDonald's commercials.
Okay.
Oh.
This is important.
As a young kid,
Yes.
from like 3 to 6, like every those 3 years, I got to the end of like between me and another kid for being in a McDonald's commercial, and I didn't get it all 3 times.
Damn.
And then Spy Kids happened, and McDonald's also is the reason why like we had an idea that the movie might do well, because I guess someone from like McDonald's corporate came to the set of Spy Kids 1 like the first 2 weeks of shooting.
Sick.
And they like looked at the set. This is what I remember. I was 7, so like my memory could be weird, but anyway, he looked around and was like, yeah, okay. And then you know how in the like we make the microwave
My
meal,
favorite scene, yeah.
it becomes a Big Mac.
Yep.
So I think the McDonald's guy was there to be like, all right, yeah, you can use a Big Mac and fries.
Yeah.
And yeah, so once that happened, then I feel like everyone on set, like the vibe changed, and it was like, oh, this is like a serious movie. Like we actually have to, you know, like
This is
get
Mission
it.
Impossible.
So
now.
it felt kind of like an indie movie. It felt like an independent film at first or something. Like it didn't feel. Was it always that, or did it like? So it just became this mega franchise.
Yeah.
After the first movie.
What happened in the beginning was, so I met the director, Robert Rodriguez, when I was 6. And this was like a 6-month auditioning process where usually like you go out on an audition and then like the next day or a couple days later you get a call back. And then the next day or a couple days later, they tell you like if you got the job or not. Spy Kids was like going in once every month and like just doing it again, just reading the lines again. And then like Alexa and I met, and I read with different Carmens and she read with different Junies, and then
That's so
eventually we
trippy.
got together. And
That's so mind fucking too.
I mean, at 6, 7, you know, you don't really know how mind fucking it is. You just go, and I always had a great time, and Robert was always really cool and made it fun. And yeah, and then after 6 months we did a screen test, and they like dyed my hair dark because I was supposed to play Antonio Banderas' son, and so they're like, well, you have to look like him, so we're gonna dye your hair black. And my hair was jet black, my eyebrows I think were still red, and it looked kind of silly. And when I got it, they were like, yeah, we're not gonna dye your hair, we're gonna dye her hair. And
So did they let your hair grow back, or did
it was
they
just like, it was like
dye
wash
Yeah.
wash out
okay,
shampoo.
good.
Now, when you're
I was
6
like,
years
that's
old, are
crazy.
you like aware that you're in an auditioning process? And like, I feel like I'm 6 years old. I'm just like playtime, toys.
Because didn't he say he talked about rockets with you or something?
He just, it was the first time that, and you know, as I got older and I went on more like director meetings, like even as a kid, it's funny. It's like, as an adult, when you meet a director, you want to work with somebody that you can like establish a relationship with, that you'd be comfortable working with them for a long period of time. So he basically just like made me feel normal, like a regular kid, and was like, can I have a conversation with this kid, and like, can we get through 6 months of a movie together? And so when I went in there to meet him for the first time, it wasn't like, okay, sit down, read your lines, like you're a robot. He was just like, hey, like, how old are you? What do you like to do? And at the time I was building like a flying car in my backyard. So,
Sick.
yeah, I think I took apart like rollerblades and like got the wheels, and I'm like, those are going to be the wheels. And I told him all about how I was going to make this flying car. And I think I just made him laugh, and then he was like, okay. And we read those lines, and that was
pretty
it,
awesome.
you know?
Well, I'm actually making a flying car.
He's
Yeah.
like, I'm busy.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
smart. You were a smart kid.
I guess.
We were like,
you know?
I dare you to eat that caterpillar, you know?
Yeah.
That's what we were doing.
I think the only thing I was building was Bionicles. I was like, can't do it, Dad.
Yeah.
Fix it.
Did you go straight to Bionicles? I started with Legos,
Legos.
and then moved up to Connects, and then moved up to Bionicles.
I don't know connects. It's just no Bionicles.
We were
Sorry.
outside.
Missed out.
Yeah.
We were in the woods. Sick. Okay, so then you got the part, and then you were
Got the part.
7
Oh,
years
right.
old?
So the first couple weeks, we had like a month before we even got to Texas. We shot all the movies in Austin, Texas, and like a month before we moved to Texas, Alexa and I had gymnastics training. So we went to
Sick.
like this gymnastics.
Was
coach.
it fun?
It was so much fun. It was like getting to, like, you know how we go to the trampoline dodgeball place? It was like
Hell
getting
yeah.
to go there, like we had to be there, you know? It was like a couple hours every week of just like playing on trampolines and not being scared of heights and stuff. Because then when we got to Texas, they put us in like harnesses and flew us
So
around.
you did all your own stunts,
I didn't do all my own stunts, but
but a decent amount.
I did a lot of stunts. I had these awesome stunt doubles. They were twins. Their names were Houston and Kanan. And like
That's sick.
I think like I don't know how much we can put in here, but I, like the things that like I couldn't get hurt doing, like when I had to like jump off of a boat into the water, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
They were
Really?
like, Houston, Kanan, put on a red wig. And you do that.
Damn.
And everyone was always so safe, but it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the times where it's like I could have gotten hurt.
I think that makes sense. That's what the acting's all about. That's what a stunt double's for, right? They're just willing
Absolutely.
to
It's
get
just weird
banged
to
up.
think about as an adult now that they hired 2 7-year-old kids. And they were like,
Children. Imagine. I was a stunt.
no one got
driver.
hurt. No one got hurt.
Daryl, say that pretty face. Get in there, diamond.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So in the beginning, it was like going to camp. You know, it was like I was learning to fly, and you know, like they put a fake jetpack on me and put me on wires, and like I got comfortable in a harness, and we did a bunch of costume tests and camera tests, and then McDonald's
When you say
came.
costume test, you mean fittings?
Yeah, fittings. They were kind of also figuring out because Robert just like drew everything.
Wow.
So he had all these drawings, and he had like all these moldings of like the thumbs and like he had
Wow.
all the characters from his childhood that he was bringing to life for this movie. And then the movie started, and then McDonald's came, and then like everything was kind of cemented in like, all right, this is the vision for the first movie.
But the first movie came out, and my favorite story is when you said you went to the theaters to watch it.
Yeah. So the first movie came out. The most fun part was that the trailer, and this is why when we go to the movies, I'm like, I have to
that's what
watch
it
the
is.
trailers. The Spy Kids 1 trailer was on The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. So it was like I was going to see The Grinch Who
With
Stole
Jim
Christmas
Carrey.
Whoa.
with Jim Carrey, because we all did.
Yeah.
Because that movie was iconic. And before the movie started, the Spy Kids trailer came out. It was the first time I saw myself like on the silver screen.
That's pretty
And
insane.
I like my memory of that is like watching it, and as I was watching it, I was just like standing up because I was so excited. You know, it's like when we watch Riley just like get
Yeah,
excited
yeah,
at
yeah.
Baby Einstein and just stand up
Yeah.
out of nowhere. I was just doing that, and then after it ended, a person sitting next to me was like, "Whoa, was that you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then we
How
watched-
old are you? How old
I
are
was
you right
7.
there? 7?
Yeah. Or no, maybe I was 8. I was 8.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. And then we watched The Grinch, and The Grinch was amazing. And,
Yeah.
And then the movie came
Just
out.
standing up.
Yeah. The movie came out a
I
couple
made
months
it.
later. The first screening of the movie was in Vegas at the Paris Hotel. I'll never forget like being in a casino at 8.
This is so bizarre.
I could not imagine. Yeah, you've seen so much shit at a very young age. You're just surrounded by adults.
Being a child
Yeah.
actor, you had.
But I have to say I always felt very safe. There really wasn't a time like I'm so lucky that I had the experience that I did, and I think it's why I didn't
Are
get
who you
into
are.
drugs and
Yeah,
stuff,
that's
you know,
just-
because I was
it's-
always very safe.